Howdy, howdy, Suitable here, and welcome to some testing. I've got here Felix, and I got my Felix and Gotrek, and I have to do some testing. This idea's been on my mind for ever since I saw what Felix can do, and Felix might be the ultimate. He might unleash the Dowie more than anything could, because of this one ability he has that's Blood Oath. So if he's in melee, everyone gets to be healed. Dwarfs with healing should be unbelievable. One of the things you can't do with dwarfs is typically you try to stick them in with something really tough like Chosen and they just all die. So Ungrim Iron Fist is going to be a substitute for Gotrek. So I'm going to do one run with Ungrim in there, Runesmith, and Thorgrim. And my Runesmith's all, he has his extra armor piercing, he has his rune of negation, he has his hammer of character draws. Like really, I want to see what these three can do, and then I want to see what they can do with Felix in there instead of Ungrim, so we can sort of see the difference. We know Chosen they're just a beefy unit, good melee attack, good melee defense, and excellent armor piercing. So I want to get in there and do two tests just to see the difference visually. I'm not actually going to take any data. I just want to see kind of what this team can do when it comes to how the fight actually goes. So I got to take Felix, and put him over here. Take these guys, put them there, and I'm going to get them to just go and fight. And I don't have any abilities, no abilities yet. No abilities on Thorgrim. I do have abilities here. So I'm going to go like this, and I'm going to cast those two, and I'm just going to get them to fight. So basically I get a minus 44 melee attack with the hammer of character draws. This is, I just want to look at sort of how much damage is going to happen. So we'll let that go. Looks like these guys are beating down the Chosen with great weapons pretty seriously. Well, Chosen are definitely getting to the Runesmith. Okay. So the Runesmith is really close to losing his health. I'm going to say Ungrim is at 2400. Thorgrim's doing alright, but the Runesmith is getting beat down pretty bad. He's got one of his runes going. He's got another one ready to go. Okay, we'll get that one going. And we're about to get the Chosen. Okay, so we did get him. We're at 700 health here, 4200, 2200. Okay, but we got them. We got them. So now if I take Ungrim out and replace it with Felix, and he can get some healing in, what's going to happen is what I want to see. So this one unit of Chosen really took out like half of Ungrim. Ungrim is what? 41, 22, so about half of Ungrim's health. 751, really 75% of our Runesmith's health, and 25% of Thorgrim's health. Yeah, 1500, somewhere in there. So when we swap, what I'm thinking this will do is keep all their health up, so you can be really aggressive with your Lord package and send them out and fight. So this is what my supposition is. I believe that Felix is going to unleash the Dowie. Like, Gotrek is awesome, don't get me wrong. Gotrek is completely awesome. But I think it's going to be Felix that actually unleashes the Dowie. Okay, so I'm going to get them. Again, we're good to go here. And I'll get ready with the hammer of character draws. Get everything going. And the thing is, he heals himself, and he heals the Runesmith, and he heals Thorgrim. So his heal is active on himself too. I'm going to see if he takes some damage here, and he'll just heal himself. When he's in combat, he heals up any heroes that are around him. He would actually be an absolute monster in 2v2s. Like crazy. But look at this. Thorgrim still sitting at almost full health. He's sitting at, okay, so now the buff is still going. And you see they're almost all at full health. How much longer the hammer character draws? Not much longer. Okay, buff is gone. And now you can see Felix is starting to take some damage, but he's healing it back. You can see Thorgrim is taking some damage, but he's healing it back. And the Runesmith is taking a lot of damage, but he's healing it back. So you gotta still be careful, I think, with something like a Runesmith. But you could definitely send these guys out and be a little more aggressive with him. For sure. Yeah, this Runesmith just cannot handle the heat, eh? Either. Felix is full health. Is the Runesmith gonna make it? Nope. Nothing gonna stop something with poor melee defense like that. Thorgrim. He's at 6. He's about the same health he was last time. Huh. Felix is at full health. So Felix is... This guy's about... Okay. Felix is essentially at full health. This guy... Well, how much did he lose? Kind of like 25%. So really what you need to get in... You need to get in and fight something that just... You're still going to struggle to fight something that does damage like this. You need something that you can heal through. So something that's not armor piercing. And like, you know, but I mean, Felix, truly, I mean, the guy, he's almost full health. He's only lost, what, 50 health there? So if you fought a group of Sourth Warriors with shields, I bet you finish that fight. I bet you finish that fight not taking any damage. Okay, so here, okay, I'm going to get over here. Let's get some Sourth Warriors. And actually, I'll take his buffs off. Just a naked Runesmith, just for curiosity. Because what I want to see is if he can heal that Runesmith. So really, so we'll go into here. Okay, Sourth Warriors shields. Sourth Warriors shields, like we hopefully can finish taking almost no damage. That's the hope. Is that we can get in there and sort of take on a group of Sourth Warriors and heal as we kill them. That's sort of the kind of what I want to find. Where is that level? Is it possible to get to the point where you heal as you beat a unit up? Can you do that with Sourth Warriors, or must it be done with something a little bit lower? And then this is with none of their buffs now. This is with none of their buffs, so we'll just let that go. There you go. He's healing all the way up again. Thorgrim's taking a little bit damage, but he's healing. Yeah, that's impressive. Okay. So, Thorgrim has lost 300 health, 320 some health, 23, and the Runesmith has lost 5 health, and Felix has lost what, 30, 35, whatever health. So I don't know, 34 health. That's see, this you normally can't do this, because normally you send your heroes out and they just start taking damage. But if you can send them out and they can continuously heal, now what can you do with the rest of this stuff? Okay, let's just take a look. End the battle. I'm just curious as to in what ways can you make this synergize? So what else can he bring? That's nothing. So this 44 melee attack minus 44 melee attack, okay, and 44 damage resistance. All right, that would be better for. Well, that might be good for a lord that doesn't have the greatest of melee attack. Like you might, instead of bringing Thorgrim, you might bring just a basic lord, and you can sort of beef him up. You know. Like where you might bring this -9 melee attack around you to make things sort of do a little bit less damage. What does this do? So that's himself. Plus 44 melee attack, plus 32 bonus versus infantry, and fire damage. Let's, you could imagine bringing him with a Thane. I don't know if you would ever do that, because you can get this weakness to fire. And maybe slow things down around him. Nothing else that does fire damage. I mean, you bring your Grom Brindle in there, and at least you can stop something with that. Leadership. 12 leadership. Yeah, I don't know. What speed? He's 34 speed? Like, he could do some kind of damage to a melee, a pack of melee. Really, and this will reduce the melee defense of things. So let's just try that. Okay, let's try how fast can these guys, when they sort of hit their 3 buffs together, sort of kill an infantry unit like a Saurus warrior. Just kind of curious. I just want to see it. I mean, I'm not really taking any times. I'm not going to time it or anything. I just curious. Okay, so if I'm going to go here, you have a. Okay, and you want 44 melee attack damage resistance. I want you to hit that. There you go. So, flash bombs going. They're just kicking the snot out of stuff right now, and they're not taking a whole lot of damage. Okay, so he's got his buffs going for a little bit longer. Now they don't really seem to do damage fast, do they? I mean, he's getting healed. They're all getting healed. I mean, they're gonna get that Saurus warrior. See, what I would prefer is something. I'd prefer the melee defense to help my. If I was gonna send the group in there, I'm just gonna change this. Okay, end the battle. So they've got sort of even amount of kills. I want to see. Okay, if I take this, that damage resistance is useful. So maybe I don't really need this for myself. If I'm gonna bring myself let's say I'm gonna bring myself a runesmith. Okay, and my runesmith is gonna sort of have the kit. Yeah, I'll probably want to bring that armor piercing damage if I'm bringing these guys. And then I would want to bring a basic lord. So let's get a base lord because he has this stat. The -9 melee attack for all around. And he has the plus 16 or 27 melee defense. So something like a kit like that. So I brought these guys. I'm not going to use the Hammer of Carrick Draws. I'm just going to use this on my runesmith to see if he can get through without taking any damage. Actually, that's not the fight I want. I want to go fight those Chosen again. Okay. Ski defeat. I want to see if I can get my my runesmith through that fight. So continue. Okay, let's go to Chosen. Because if you can be kind of aggressive with your runesmith, you can also recharge your Hammer of Carrick Draws, which is quite nice. Okay, where is it? Chosen 1450. Chosen with great weapons. Okay. Now, how am I gonna work these buffs? So I want to do I want to debuff them right away? This is 44% damage resistance. How long does that last for? 22 seconds. I think I want to debuff him with my runesmith first. So we'll start the battle. I'm going to debuff him with a Hammer of Carrick Draws. so they can all fight. And he has this extra melee defense, and he has the extra melee attack. So I'll do both those at the same time when the Hammer of Carrick Draws is done. So we'll watch these guys. See, they got 0 melee attack because they got the -9 melee attack this go around, right? So they essentially have 0 melee attack. Is the Lord has that star metal plate. So okay, we'll watch as that goes down. Okay, and stop. Okay, so now I want to go at you to give him the melee attack and the resist, and I want you to hit this. Okay. So now he has 84 melee attack, but he has 44% resistance. Damage resistance. So this time my runesmith is doing a lot better. Plus everyone has some more melee defense because of this basic ability, Stand Your Ground, and these guys have no less melee attack to start with. Okay, so now everything's off cooldown. Now my runesmith is going to start taking damage. I'll move my runesmith out. So I move my runesmith out. He's still healing. And these guys can fight. Is he still healing? Yeah. He's just going to heal. And these guys can still fight. How much more time? 91 seconds. I have... Oh, see, yeah, but I want to get in there and fight. Because I want this to recharge. But I kind of should want to... I've got to be careful with my runesmith. I want him to fight, but I don't want him to be surrounded and sort of get absolutely tanked. There we go. So, I'm just going to pause that. There we go. So, Cheap Lord with the Star Metal Plate for the -9 melee attack so that Felix's healing can do more. My runesmith with the Hammer of Carrick Draws, and ultimately if I use the Rune of Negation as well for that 22%, that would be worth it for these three. And then Felix, and he has his helping hand to help specifically my runesmith with the 44% damage resistance. And really, it's just, from there, it's just to let them fight. And, you know, they just beat up a group of Chosen. And you saw last time my runesmith was killed almost. But Lord finished with down what? 70 hit points. My runesmith finished down, you know, sort of 60 hit points, and Felix finished down like 100, sort of, maybe we'll call it 70 or 80 hit points. So really, I think Felix is this. We need these combinations to play with. Like, this is possible. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Like, the problem is you still can't catch things. But with this thing, the Rune of Rathdrum, you can catch stuff. Like, it's like, not like, I mean, you can catch infantry. You're not going to be able to catch a chariot or something like that. I mean, you can slow it down enough, but we've seen it where it's still got like 20 speed. It's actually hard to catch when you only have 32 speed to catch it. But, you know, you keep these three together, and, I mean, how many units could they kill? Now, this is expensive. I mean, this is not cheap. But essentially, they've killed an entire unit of Chosen worth 1,400 gold for almost nothing. And they could potentially, I mean, they would be absolutely beastly at the end of a battle. Dwarf Lords are already hard to kill. Like, I don't know, would it be better to bring... No, the thing about this guy is that Star Metal Plate on -9 melee attack is important for defending your runesmith. And then Felix, actually. Felix has good melee defense, but it helps defend them both continuously. And then having, I mean, lots have Stand Your Ground, but really, if we go and look, we'll quit that battle. I don't know if, not everyone has Stand Your Ground. Does Grombrindle? Nope. He just has this. And it's only for 16 seconds every 90. So he doesn't have it. I know Thorgrim has it. So Thorgrim has it, so Thorgrim might be able to work, but Thorgrim has +9 melee attack. That's not what we want. We want to defend our runesmith. Thorgrim could work though. And Ungrim has no abilities that are going to help this combination. And though we could bring a Rune Lord, you know, Rune Lord. I mean, he can be on his anvil. I mean, he could bring the armor. And you know, like here you go. This Gatekeeper's belt, when he gets below 33% damage, do you use that? You know, this missile resistance. Are there times when you might want to use this? Immune to psychology, armor piercing. You might bring it like that, and then bring a different hero. Like you could actually. Here's a thought. You could bring that with the negation, the Rune of Hearth and Home for the immune to psychology, and potentially a Thane, something like that. You know, like in that Thane you could bring to slow things down. I'll make it we could fire. No, you don't really need to bring a Thane, do you? Like, what else do you bring? I guess. I mean, you bring Gotrek with this, and that's self. So he has self buffs, but I mean, you could. This is a potential. You got magic resistance, and you make something, you know, weak to magic, and this you could bring this to help Gotrek. He doesn't need help on himself. But it's not as much. It's not as defensive. It's not as defensive. I mean, this is a. I mean, you have essentially every ability here to make your Rune Lord beastly. At 2300 though, like, are you going to bring a Rune Lord at 2300? I don't know. I don't think so. But I mean, you could. Really, I think this is the combo. Just from looking, you bring your Lord with just the stand your ground and the Star Metal plate. I wouldn't worry about the perfect vigor. It's just not worth it. And then you bring a Thane, or sorry, a Runesmith. And you bring a Runesmith with the Forge Fire for the armor piercing, or not. Rune of Wrath and Rune to catch stuff. Probably the Rune of Negation. Hammer of Carrick draws. I mean, you might bring the extra leadership to help these guys to... Essentially, it makes you immune from fear. That extra 8 leadership. But with no abilities, I mean, Rune of Negation might be useful. 25 seconds for all your heroes if they're going to be out fighting. You know, Forge Fire gives everyone a little bit extra, but you don't. I mean, you have 150 armor piercing. Your Runesmith has what? 90 armor piercing. You get 10% extra armor piercing, so you're going to get an extra 10 damage. But Felix has armor piercing, like a lot. So he gets 265, so he's going to extra 30 armor piercing. To go with that, like, is that 10% extra damage worth it? I mean, I don't know. It might be more worth it if you had a Lord with if you had more of an aggressive stance. But at the same time, I mean, this Hammer of Carrick draws is definitely worth it. The Rune of Negation seems worth it. I mean, if you did want to make sure these guys last that extra 8 leadership, because if they want to try and snipe Felix, it's going to be that much harder to snipe him with the leadership. And Rune of Negation. Now the armor can be useful. I know everyone's got like armor, but Felix doesn't have the greatest armor. He's only at 70. So bring in with the armor. Like, you bring a fully kitted Runesmith at 1200 to help make sure this survives and can do a little more damage. Like we saw, they were able to get rid of a unit of Chosen, you know. Well, this is just interesting. Like, see, when you're like, if you're trying to snipe this out as an opponent, you want to get rid of Felix probably. So you get rid of the healing and the helping hand, But the runesmith can then give Felix that extra 30 armor, and the armor's not going to hurt them. I mean, going from 120 to 150 is not bad. And that extra, everything gets cheaper. Like this is 130 when you have everything, but when you don't, it's 160. So everything gets a little bit cheaper when you get everything. So, like technically, bringing a unit with all its something with all of its abilities kind of makes everything the cheapest. But Rune Negation and Rune of Oath and Steel, that Forge Fire, you can essentially you might be able to kill stuff like the Lizardman. Like let's say they brought you know, 2 Saurus Warriors. I mean, you can even 3. Like, could they kill 3 Saurus Warriors without losing any health? Well, let's try 5. I mean, I don't know. Let's see what happens. So, I just out of curiosity, just because I want to see. I mean, I'm not doing any real testing here, you know, obviously, but you know, just looking at this type of leadership package. Okay, so let's get this group. Okay, I want you guys. Okay, and let's just go here. Okay, get you. Okay. And I'll save that, and I'll save this. Because we'll wait till the Hammer of Carrick Draws is only on 1 unit right now, so I guess I could give this on the Runesmith right now. And this is probably not a bad idea just to get it going. And like still, while I'm in this blob, I mean I could be slowing things down outside of it, you know? Okay, I want all of you guys to go here. I don't want anyone to get apart. Okay, so just look at abilities. What's coming up next? $19 here. Like Felix is gonna be able to use that 30 armor because he only got 70. He actually doesn't have a whole lot of armor. I want you over here. Let's go. Let's go. I want you over here. I just want to make sure they sort of stay together. Okay. Now, anything coming up? 7. You know. Oh, someone over here. Just cast that. 22% damage resistance, 15 on that, 41 on that, and the Hammer of Carrick Draws is re-upping right now. To the beauty of it. Everyone's getting tired, of course, but like everyone's at full health. Okay, I'm just gonna fast forward it, and anyone else. Close. Hammer of Carrick Draws. I'll cast it on you. And you. I'm going to cast this on you. 70. Oh, that. So I'm just going to save that. 36. 22. Okay. Okay. And how much time? 25. 8. Whoa. We'll cast this on you. Yes. And you cast this on my Runesmith. So I think my Runesmith has almost hit his healing cap. Yeah. You. Getting close. You. Getting close. Huh. 23 seconds on that, 20 seconds on that. So I mean, we're gonna, what's the time? 13? Play. So you got this, and you got that going. 98 seconds. So we'll just let that play. And my runesmith, you're seeing, even though I've been getting the extra buffs from Felix specifically, really I'm going to need that to actually make it. Yeah. Okay, cast this. 24, 14. Hammer of Carrick draws. I'll cast it on you. 6 seconds onto my runesmith. Okay, you 7 seconds onto that. Maybe I save that until this is done. Yeah, I mean, you can keep that going. But yeah, okay. So we're gonna kill them all. I think. There we go. We got them. So, I mean, this is probably an equivalent of gold. So 800 times 5 is 4,000. These guys, are these guys around 4,000? 3,500-ish? Yeah, 4,000. But, I mean, I still have a Lord with abilities. He's used all his healing cap. My Thane has used all his healing cap. So you get to, I'm sorry, and both. So you get to use your heroes twice, which is new for a dwarf, right? And I still have some abilities left over, so I don't know. I think that is super cool. So really, you know, you can have your leadership package something like this, and you can be pretty aggressive with getting them out front and getting them to fight. As long as they're fighting the right stuff. I still don't think you want to go fight Chosen, but you can. We proved that these three can take down a group of Chosen all by themselves with enough time, and you know, they're probably going to struggle with a goon squad. You know, but we do have Rune of Negation, and we can slow that goon squad down, and we can get some damage back in. But man, and do we need all this stuff? I mean, I don't know. We'll quit that battle, end battle, continue. I mean, we probably don't. I think the Hammer of Carrick draws is needed. I don't know about the damage resistance in this. I mean, I like the damage resistance to Forge Fire, but if you were going to bring sort of the base package, I think you bring your Star Metal Plate for the -9 melee attack, and you can bring them for you know, that's about 3,000 gold for the three of them. You know, and really, the Rune of Negation and the Rune of Oath and Steel seem prudent. Yeah, those do seem like a good idea. I don't think I see nothing else here, but really, I think a pretty solid package. Maybe they don't bring the armor piercing because it's not as critical. You know, it is a, what, 135 gold, or the leadership, 137 gold. The leadership is going to help if they try to get gooned. And they're trying, like, this is what problem is. They'll, like, someone will try and, like, pick out one of your heroes and just cull them. And then go and take them. So that 8 leadership could matter for your goon squad. You know, I don't know. But this at minimum, you know, really does, as a leadership package, could be interesting. Like, where do you send them? They can actually go do something. Normally with your Lord, you're in the middle of your line looking for a good engagement and something you can catch. Like here, there's you can catch pretty much anything. But with the Rune of Wrath and Rune, you can catch pretty much anything. 72%, that's not over 100 speed. Well, you're not going to catch something that's 100 speed or 90, but anything that's essentially 80 speed and below, you can sort of catch it. I really, though, what this would be more for is catching a Footlord and gooning him, or like a caster on foot, or really beating down or trying to get into your front line and supporting some infantry. So if you have, like, if you just look at this, you know, if you do have you know, an expensive piece of infantry like the Peak Gate Guard. So, whoops, I'm going to get my Lord back here. Melee attack. I mean, you put a piece of expensive infantry like a Peak Gate Guard with them to sunder armor for these two guys, or, you know, you get another sort of bodyguard like the Grumbling Guard, or you have another bodyguard unit like the to keep, like, Dragonback Slayers are going to scare anything that comes near you. You know, that could be your bodyguard unit. You put them with, you know, obviously you put them with some sort of bodyguard. I mean, the very cheapest bodyguard unit that works good is Longbeards, but they are a little bit slow. But, you know, Dragonback Slayer is going to work good. Peak Gate Guard will be good because that'll let your other two go to work with that Sunder armor and magic damage. You know, something comes with big resistance, that magic damage is really going to hurt them. But, you know, even the Grumbling Guard would be a pretty good bodyguard for this crew, and you could, if you could get them on the right units, you know, oh geez, that PK Guard, you get those together, they'll chew through things pretty quick and with very little damage done. So they might last a little longer because you're going to get your buffs, and that's where you might want to take again the Forge Fire for that extra percentage or leadership. But anyways, I just think this is really fascinating. Like, I'm really excited about having Felix Jaeger, we'll call him Jaeger. I'm going to call him the Truth, Felix the Truth Jaeger, because I feel like there's going to be some fun ways to use him. I really do. Could be wrong, but doesn't it feel like there's going to be some fun ways to use him? Like, if you bring Felix, you want to bring two. You want to bring a Lord and a Hero, because that's healing is just over time. I think that's pretty strong. I mean, it's not bad. Anyways, I will just close this off. We'll see if you. Hopefully, I edited out the middle part in the middle. If I didn't, you know, it is what it is. And I hope you found that interesting. And I want to hear from you guys. Are you excited about Felix and Gotrek? And what kind of builds are you thinking about? You know, I'm pumped about these guys. I'm pumped about using them in my builds and what I can do with them. I really am. So, anyways, let me hear from you in the comments, and I hope you found that interesting, and I will see you soon.